Are we good? I think we're good. I might have to leave in just a couple minutes, though. I'm very sorry. Actually, I might just take care of this now, because I think I think I need to take care of this before I continue. All right, I'll give you all a minute. It is not a political yap stream today, Crisby. Don't even worry about it. It's gonna be a different yap stream. It will be a totally different yap stream. I have no desire to talk about the political environment of anything. Holy shit. Hi, thank you for your patience. I've been informed that, yes, in fact, the downstairs neighbor has moved, and that I should expect certain amounts of, like, repair and maintenance noises going on over the next week or so. So that may be a thing that we deal with in the meantime, but that's totally fine. I'm very okay with that. But yeah, that is a thing. That's the upstairs also moved, which basically means I am free to do late night streams right now because there's no one who's gonna complain, which is awesome. I may do Construct Larkin. Yeah, no, I did construction. Like, I've done construction. It was for theater stuff, but like, it's still construction. You still have to do it, like, build up to safety code and stuff. They're more chill about it and you don't get in trouble unless something breaks. But I mean, that's kind of how housework does anyway. When you do the anyway. But yeah, no, we're not. No, that's already a mess. I will say two things. For the political end, I'm saying two things and only two things. There are certain amounts of horrible things that are happening right now. I will make jokey jokes after a reasonable amount of time, and only if there's a way that I can do so in good taste. That's thing one. I was rather shocked by the events of yesterday. That was just wow. But like, that's its own thing. Two, I may speak about some of the investigation elements in the future. It really depends on what comes to light on that front. But I don't have a lot else to say that wasn't already said yesterday. End of full political whatever the fuck. So I want to talk about some stuff. Y'all asked me on the fucking poll in the Discord, and like most people who are like active in the Discord, and even a couple of people who aren't normally active in the Discord, showed up and voted, and thank you for that. That was lovely. You all want just a chatting stream today. Y'all were about to win with Quest for Glory, and we may play that later. But we will play Quest for Glory eventually. You're gonna have to deal with that. We will also have to play Dark Souls 2 at some point. Because I'm setting up, it will not be a legitimate run. This will be a going over all the bullshit that you can do run. Because apparently, a few people actually really want a Dark Souls 2 run of mine where I show you all the stupid shit you can get away with. And there's some very easy sections you can do that in. And I will, like, I'll just fuck around with it a little bit. It will not take long. It will be like, well, okay. It will not take that many streams. It'll probably be like a 6 to 8 stream situation, which is still like 2 months. But like, it wouldn't be a big thing. It wouldn't be the worst thing. Quest for Glory is a game that you can knock out like each one in like 1 or 2 streams. Pretty much every time. They're much shorter games once you actually know what you're doing. There's a lot of exploration that you can do and whatnot, but like, yeah, you'll be fine. We'll be fine on those. I'm really looking forward to playing that. I think I am going to skip 2 because 2 doesn't have a point and click system. It uses the old DOS system, and I hate that shit so much. It's why I'm not going to play King's Quest 1, 2, or 3 on here. Unless someone specifically wants to like join me with that stuff. But yeah. So just talking business. Also medical stuff. So far my body seems to be treating any other meds well. My energy levels are still doing okay. I'm still a little brain foggy when we have some of the longer streams that I have to focus in on. But like that's with okay, that was a weird thing. Also, hey Tinky Winky, what's up? But yeah, main thing, just I'm really looking forward to that stuff. I am not going to be able to make it down to pick up the PlayStation 2 from Oregon. That's just not happening. I've looked through the numbers that I got to do, and since we are doing a stream on Saturday this week because we're doing more Date Everything with our imaginary friend, my dear friend Emma, who is just so goddamn sweet and lovely and fun as a person, and I'm very excited for that. After that thing, I may do a Quest for Glory, and then if we stream on Sunday, it will almost certainly be more Digimon Survive. I was thinking of doing that today, since we didn't do it on Tuesday, and I really like the Digimon Survive, and it is actually like a really fun. It's fun. It's a fun game. It's a fun game, and Riken has good taste. Also, if you see that, you should clip it because yes. As much as we do goof off and you give me joke options for things to play on stream, your taste is fucking immaculate in all of the things that you've actually like fully and earnestly suggested to me. So that's a thing. Yeah, I hope y'all are doing well. I would love to know how you're doing. If you wanna type it out, by all means do so. But I'm just here with my little bagel and my coffee, and there's some rice in the pot cooking up, which I'm. I'm looking forward to some shenanigans a little later, but most of it's just going to be the fact that I get to actually recover from stuff. I will also note, alive is a better start than anything else. It is from being alive that we are able to do anything. I'm also alive. I am not dead. Ooh. Test stream tonight, do some sketches. Alright. Wait, you did test stream tonight? Did you mean for tonight? Or is it already later night where you are? I don't know. I don't remember anyone's time zones. I'm so sorry. But sketches and portraits for Secret Project, that is fantastic. I love that. Oh my god. But yeah, Saturday we're doing more Date Everything. I'm looking forward to that. Afterward, I'll probably do some Digimon Survive. I ended things early yesterday because, I'm gonna be totally honest. I think we might not finish Remnant from the Ashes with Howie. We may just go to the Moria game. Oh my god. Okay, so you're in that time zone. Alright. Alright. Ooh, okay. Alright, as long as you're okay with that. Like, usually when someone is like, oh, it's 4 a.m., I'm usually like, hey, go to bed. But, like, if you're doing a thing and you're pleased with the thing that you're doing, and you know that it's going to be harder to do the thing after you get out of the zone and after you've, like, woken up and had to do responsible stuff, I totally get that. I'm not here to... Like, I always suggest people to go to bed, but, like, it's already 4:23. You're already in, like, a zone. I get it. But yeah, so in terms of like general planning, all of the actual, so I had a number of people that I wanted to contact, and I've done one round of contacting people for the things that I want to do with other people. And I've gotten, no, I don't feel up to doing that, or I don't think it would make a good stream and it wouldn't be a good time, which is fair. Okay, okay. You're allowed to goof off a little bit in life, alright? If you don't, then you start losing parts of your soul, and it just sort of... It's very bad. You should have some silly time. Yesterday with Howie. We might do another one with Pengy and Howie next week. No guarantees. I don't think Howie's having a good time, though. I think Howie is tolerating it. So if we do like a 2-stream palette cleanse from survival crafting... Oh, yeah. I love Remnant. I think it's a fantastic game. I'm still pretty good at it. Oh my god, food is... Let me just finish eating this real quick. I will say, Remnant 2 is a little bit janky still, but it's way less busted than it used to be. It is so much less busted than it used to be. It's also important to note that gunfire, yeah, it's not a triple A like group. It's a double A group. If you want to get technical on classifications, and that's an important thing to note whenever you're playing those games. Also, FromSoft was a double A studio when they made like Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2. Yeah. There's some jank in there still. I think there's... I personally don't mind the jank. Again, I'm also one of the people who's like, Dark Souls 2 is, like, actually... It kicks the ass of, like, both of the other two Dark Souls in terms of its, like, overall world building and storyline progression stuff. You got some? What do you got? Yeah, as long as you can play, that's the thing. Hey! Yes. I also love that the Titus laugh, in context, heart-wrenching and horrible. Out of context, fucking terrible. Really depends on its context to, like, sell the weight of the laughter. Anyway. Yeah, I love this. The reason why I like the seamless co-op mods, even with the new jank that they produce, is that it gets rid of the weird 2-minute limit. I cannot fucking stand the 2-minute limit. I cannot fucking stand it. It's the worst fucking thing. If you have a game where you have the ability to bring people in to fight together with you, right? They should be able to stay there. And like... Yeah, there's new classes. There's a bunch of fun stuff in there. I know we're in very different time zones, but if you want, we could, in the future, play that game together. You want that doggo? You want the like the Beastmaster one? Yeah, it's good. That means you played it super early, like right after open beta, like 1.0 release probably. It's so much better now. I played that. I played it at 1.0. I didn't touch it for like 3 months. Like me and Shron and Supika, me, Shron, and Supika have always been like big fans of these games. Of like the first game, we played hundreds of hours of them. Of different runs of those fucking things. We got basically every item and every trait on those fucking games. But also like we played the second one and we were like, we're gonna let it cook a little more in the oven, yeah? And then we just sort of like walked off of it for like a couple months and came back once things were patched up. It's way better now. It's not perfect, and there's still some goofy shit in it. You're also going to see some goofy shit in Remnant from the Ashes as we play it a second time. I would love to play more of that with Howie, but I think it's really not Howie's exact cup of tea. I think, honestly, if Pengy's more of a shooter fan, then she's probably going to have a better time than Howie is having. Howie does seem to be at least tolerating it in an amicable fashion, though, and I do appreciate that. They are doing well with that. But, like... yeah. Anyway, so I did not expect people to say, well, also that they did not drop that with a lot of warning, and it was like there was an announcement somewhere and then like they had their pre-order thing. I remember that, which was wild. Also, I've been I know my brother is not available for this weekend either for Elden Ring stuff, so we're probably gonna have to wait until the weekend after. I'll check in with him, but like that's a thing. The other thing that I want to talk about, so oh god, yeah, no, that would have been rough. Like, if you just had to, like, look at it and know that it would... That was me with Infinite Wealth at the start of this year, because there was an NVIDIA driver update that just made... I tried it the week before we were gonna play it, and then I tried to run it, and it just wouldn't run. Because I tested it, like, the week before, and there was an update to the NVIDIA driver, like, at that point. Wild time. We got delayed on our Infinite Wealth run by, like, 3 months. Or at least 2 months. That's nuts. Other things. I'm going to keep pushing to try and get us to 500 followers, and I want to bring more people in here. I've been slowly but surely just, like, dropping various shorts and clips that come from here with minimal editing from the system. Been doing pretty good. Why does it say that shield mode is still on? Let me refresh this real quick. Because y'all can still chat. There shouldn't be a shield mode on. Yeah, it's not on. It's just... okay. But yeah, it was... oh my god. Oh yeah, no, like, when Remnant 2 came out, there was... it was right at that transition point. And, it was real... it was a very silly time. It continues to be a very silly time, but it, at least not because of like all the like game crashing and soft locking shit that would happen. God. Also, I feel bad, but I think I've burned out on my ability to enjoy Medieval MC in a solo format. And there's been a couple of updates, like, since we started doing that playthrough of stuff. And I think I have to stop there, which is unfortunate. Also because I kind of want to make a more edited video going over, like, what I found and how it worked and how well it worked. and if it worked at all. I think that's a big deal. And I want to do that more than I want to like stream it live. So I might still stream Minecraft, but it'll be a different thing on Minecraft if we do that on Mondays. Just because we went through a lot of that stuff, and like, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I've played through the most current version of Deeper and Darker. I don't think I've done anything with Eternal Starlight. But also, unless those really wow me on my off hours, I don't see any reason to come back and show anything from them off, because they do just look like kind of... Like, Deeper and Darker is going to be a fun thing. Sure, absolutely, no question there. Eternal Starlight will be a fun thing, absolutely no question there. That's not my issue here. It's just more that, like, with them continually updating stuff, I want to be able to talk about just this version, not necessarily the, like, the Forge or NeoForge version. There's a bunch of stuff that I'd want to, like, I want to be specific. But it feels more like if I'm completing those two biomes and those two dimensions, by the time I complete those two dimensions, there will be another update that will change more stuff. And because I preloaded all the chunks to make sure that we didn't have to deal with all the bullshit, things are missing from the new version that I won't be able to get to unless I go even further out. So a part of me is like, I should probably just restart at this point, because I already kicked some mods out of the system because I don't personally like them. And I already know how they're going to work. But the other part of me says, hey, with like Ice and Fire, I should see if the fan-made section is actually updated enough and good enough and stable enough that it won't tank your shit just because a dragon spawns specifically in a location, right? Like, I should be able to do that and like do a full... If I'm doing a full rundown of the current version, I'll want all the mods that are in it to be in it. And that will be important. So I may as well start over, which sucks because we put a bunch of time into that playthrough and I had a lot of fun with it, but it's also kind of a pain in the ass. It's also like, hey, Ms. Brittany, how you doing? Hope you're having a lovely day, despite the Corvid. I know. I'm sorry. If I didn't know exactly how long it takes, if you wish to share a gross thing, I will not stop you. You are welcome to share a gross thing. I'm not afraid of gross things. We're avoiding certain current events. Neti pots are great. But, like, yeah. Neti pots are fantastic. They do wonderful work. They are disgusting devices, though. Horrible things. Yeah, no, like, absolutely nasty. I've used one pretty much every time I've gotten sick in the past 5 years, and it always does, like, a weirdly soothing thing to my sinuses. I really appreciate it. That said, it's gross. It's super gross. It's a sinus flushing pot. You basically take warm saline. This little ceramic pot that has like an opening that you can stick in one nostril. You turn your head to the side, you pour things through until it comes out the other end, and it flushes the sinuses and all the gunk and snot and other stuff that might be in your sinuses. It is shockingly effective. Mostly because it doesn't just like... Yeah, it's gross. Yeah. It's gross. But it is effective. It is helpful. It is helpful when you're sick and miserable and you're just so congested that nothing seems like it's going to be able to get out. It kind of like... Because of the warmth and the saline element, it's like... It's similar to like a bronchodilator like inhaler, but in its effect overall, but it's just sort of like it opens things up. No, actually, I thought it would be too. It's not. It's just really weird. You would think it would be like if there's like any sort of like cut, scrape, or inflamed section that it would like burn like hellfire. It doesn't. They're really good actually. They're just also really gross. Yeah. I've got my inhaler right here. Speaking of, I'm gonna use my inhaler right now because my chest does feel heavy. I mean, yeah, I'm 36 and I still have to use an inhaler because my lungs never fully recovered from my childhood. Yeah, we have the most expensive vape. Yeah, being able to breathe from your nostrils is something that you should not take for granted. I will never take it for granted again. I lived my whole life with horrible allergies and horrible asthma up until like I'm gonna say 2016. It took 8 years of being outside of the like absolutely horrible allergen-filled environment that my mom's had as like an apartment that never got like properly vacuumed, and there was chain smokers all the time basically in there, and like it was a bad place for someone with like shitty lungs, and they only made my lungs much shittier. And now that I absolutely have to worry about like lung cancer now, but like I already had to worry about lung cancer. That's future me's problem, hopefully. If I even live long enough to get lung cancer. I might not. I could have a plane drop on this apartment. The tectonic plate that covers all of the West Coast could erupt, and we could all just sort of like shunt down into it or something. I don't know what's going on with fucking California's earthquake situation. Those are problems for like future me if they show up. Oh yeah. I've had asthma all my life. Like I got my inhaler when I was 3 years old. I've never had to use it like daily, and I'm very grateful for that. But yeah, I've had horrible allergies my whole fucking life. I hate that I had to, like, most of my childhood, the springs and summers, I just had to take Benadryl. Nothing else really worked, and there weren't a lot of good options when I was a kid for, like, non-Benadryl sort of, like, antihistamines. Because, like, a bunch of the stuff just, frankly, just didn't work half the time. Like, let me look up, I think... Yeah, when were you developed first? Looks like 1998 is when it became, yeah, Claritin always fucked me up. But yeah. It doesn't have the history of Claritin. Loratadine. Invented year. Crispy, that is totally fair. If y'all sleepy, I'm just hanging. It was patented in 1980 and came to market in 1988. That's actually pretty good. But definitely, that I could take that, but it's the one that always fucks me up. So my options were to be fucked up on Claritin or to be fucked up on Benadryl, and my family was like, Benadryl's way cheaper. You'll just take Benadryl forever. And so I took Benadryl almost daily, if not daily, or multiple times a day. I spent most of my, like, early teenage years in a weird Benadryl haze, and it was not great. I probably ended up slowly poisoning myself with that shit for a while. And then I got other medications, like Singulair. And Singulair does a lot of good work for me. You know, Stardew is not... It isn't porny. It isn't smutty. None of its music... I will say this. Stardew Valley has a great soundtrack. I don't think... Let me start this sentence over. This one part. I don't think any of Stardew Valley's music readily converts to sexy times music. You could fuck to it. As a challenge, as a bit, but I don't think you should try, Norm. There's sexier music, you know? It's not sexy music. It's not tense, spicy, like, audiobook music, certainly. And now I'm trying to think of, like, what games would have... Like, what non-smutty games do have good music that you could, like, get down to it. Foster? The fuck is Foster? Is it... Oh, okay, yeah, that stuff. Yeah. Yeah, that's for the, like, the medication-resistant asthma. Ah, they got you on the big guns. Damn. I'm glad you're able to get your hands on it, but goddamn. Yeah, it's not a respiratory disease. It's a vasculopathic disease. COVID is. Basically, it fucks with your blood vessels and the way that blood is, moved through your body. Hence the vasculopathic. Everything the blood touches could be fucked with it. That also does include the lungs, ultimately. Gotten COVID, what? Twice? 3 times? Something like that. We did so well avoiding it for the first, like, few years, too. Which is really unfortunate. And so far, I haven't seen any, like, permanently, like, horrible, debilitating stuff come out of the COVID. I think it's because I already had whatever fucking chronic fatigue thing was going to happen, and so there's nothing else for them to fuck up with that. Hey, Ms. Brittany, good for you. But yeah, like, I will wear a mask outdoors forever now, not just because of the COVID, but also because, like, I don't have to take serious antihistamines to back up my Singulair if I'm wearing a mask outdoors. In the middle of the summer. I was able to walk through the floral department of a grocery store, like a supermarket, and not have a horrible fucking sneezing attack. Like, back when I worked at the fancy grocery store, back in Oregon, the Wannabe Whole Foods, that thing had an amazing floral department, and, like, sometime in August, every single time, something would show up. Like, every single week in August, something new showed up that I got to find out that I was horrendously allergic to. Oh. Oh, you had a weird reaction to the vaccine? Oh, that's tragic. I mean, it's still better than not having the vaccine, but, like, it sucks that it might have done something to you. That's the thing. Like, people want to say vaccines are 100% safe, and they are 99% safe. Like, I would much rather get a vaccine for an illness than just catch that illness, right? Always going to feel like that's going to be a better situation. But, like, especially with novel viruses, the vaccines for them are always going to be coming out a little bit harsh. You know, they're not gonna clean up their actual production process of it necessarily to be like super easy like the flu shots are. And also some people still have reactions to the flu shots. Yeah, like, and that's the thing. People with asthma, like us, absolutely have stronger reactions to COVID vaccines than the average person. Even though it's not a respiratory virus, the lungs work with blood, the lungs can be affected. It's a whole situation. And if your immune response is like, oh, hey, the lungs, hey, this could reach the blood in the lungs. Oh no, immune system activate. It'll fuck you right up. I remember, oh god, I'm probably overdue for my pneumovax too. I gotta get some shots between now and the end of September. This is important. I gotta get those shots done. But we are now in the period where Spouse Larkin is going back to her workspaces and work times, which means she's gone with the car. And it is not easy walking distance anymore to go to like the doctor's office to make that happen. Yeah. It's kind of wild though that like so much is, there's so much stuff that goes into like how do I put this? How the immune system works. So much wild stuff that it like does that it's trying to do the job right, but it is still like not good at. There's so many things in the human body that are just like, hey, it works good enough to not kill most of us. It's fine. And then someone has a peanut allergy, and they get to find out the hard way, which is fucking sucks. But yeah, I will say there's one major symptom that I've had since catching COVID, and I'm not fond of it. I'm not fond of it even a little bit. And that's my baseline resting heart rate is like 10 higher than it should be, and my blood pressure is still like higher than normal. And I think that's also just mostly like since COVID started happening, I started getting really fucking stressed. And then like I got sick with COVID and I got more stressed, and then I got better from COVID and I was still stressed. And then more stressful things happen, and more stressful problems happen, and more stressful things happen, and more stressful problems happen. And I think that might have a bit more to do with it than the COVID. But like, I can't fully rule it out as a factor, and I have to be worried about that. Thankfully, I've never had like regular chest pains, because that would be doctor time immediately, you know? Like, if I'm getting like deep chest pains, and not just like my pec or my armpit because I like strained something in my arm, yeah, like, every time I've caught it, nothing horrible has happened thus far. I don't want to catch it again. I will do everything in my power not to catch it again. There is only so much I can do. Spouse Larkin is a teacher for instrumental music, and so has to do a thing with her students that involves a lot of air circulating around that children's spit and other like stuff is in. So if they're contagious, even if they're asymptomatic, that could fuck over a lot of people. It's just one of those things. It's kind of bullshit. And like, she could have everyone put on masks, but like that's already like kind of a big ask for kids that she only gets like 30 minutes at most with per like run, because it's not like a college class, it's like an elementary school class, you know? Oh, elementary and middle, I think, technically, but yeah. Anyway, apart from all of that, oh god, oh, hey, that might be worth like a regular doctor visit. Like, you don't gotta go to the ER for that, but it might be like, hey, I have asthma. I don't know what's going on here. It's not the same thing. Okay, good. Well, I hope it goes well, and I hope it's something that's either easily fixable or something that is thankfully temporary. Because either way, at least in that case, you can get, like, you know, get some stuff done. That's always a concern. When the doctor is also sick, that tends to suck. God. Every time I open anything, like anything, right now that is social media based, I gotta explain some context. So, I've talked about this in the past. I used to stream on a different website. Before I did anything that was like this, I streamed on a different website. A very different kind of situation of streaming. And we don't need to go into detail about it. I will, however, say it was a different kind of scene. And it was, I would say, in a few ways, a little bit more like life affirming for me at that point in time. And it was really nice. I don't think if I hadn't done that, I don't think I'd be streaming now on this platform. I will say that. But also the thing is, like, I got more, like, embedded, I guess, or like I interacted more directly with a certain community of content creation. And I, long story short, cannot open my Twitter or Blue Sky or Tumblr feeds here ever on screen. Under no circumstances. Under no circumstances. But, like, I click over there and I'm like, maybe I can check to see if we have any memes I could show off, and it's immediately TOS things. Just immediate TOS things. I'm like, And the thing is, you know, like, there's a lot of, like, I'm just gonna say it now. There's a lot of sex workers on my feed. Because I used to be one of them. Mostly as, like, a jokey hobby thing to have fun with and, like, sort of explore some elements of myself that I didn't really, like, have a good handle on at the time, and it did its job for that. But also after that, I was like, oh yeah, this is a good thing that people can do and enjoy and, like, find fulfillment in doing. This is actually, like, a good thing that people can and probably should enjoy with less shame. And it's weird that we're trying to police it so hard in the world today. It's wild to me that that's a thing. But also, very important, as a result, when I open Twitter, for an example, sometimes they're like, listen, you gotta make a lot of advertising for that sort of work, you know? A lot of advertising. And so sometimes I'll be like, oh, that's someone's entire, like, business. You can't see my hands right now, and I'm really mad about it at this point. I need to make the hands work on this shit again. I gotta do it. I gotta get more tracking stuff. It's a vital need for me. But, like, I'll see, you know, up in my face, and I'll be like, oh, yeah, that's cool. I'm not gonna click buttons on it, because, like, I don't want to be the reason that someone who may, as a habit, look at their social media and also happen to be following me and also happen to be on stream, and maybe I repost a thing and then they get banned from Twitch or YouTube. I don't want that on me. I'm not sure that I would feel great about that. But yeah, anyway. And like, I'm not. It's just one of those things where like it's a weird sort of job, and it's a weird sort of profession, but that doesn't make it bad. It does, however, make it a little bit compromising if you are in certain other spaces that are not cool about it. And like, I would stream on certain other websites that are more open to that sort of thing, but the rights and handling of rights for example, video game playthroughs are far less lenient to those sorts of platforms. That said, I think it would be very funny if I did a cooking stream on Fansly. I'm just gonna say that. I think that would be good. I think that would be funny. I think that would be great. I could attach various props to my person. There would be options there for more visual jokes that I could do that I can't do here. If you connect the dots, you will understand completely why. But like, at some point, I'm probably going to be doing more smutty streams. It's just going to happen. I know who I am as a person. But yeah. I don't know. All of that depends on me getting like a good space to actually do that sort of streaming and do that sort of work. I wouldn't be posting like, I wouldn't be posting whole or anything like that, you know? Like, I think I'm done with that. That's a young person's game for the most part. And I'm okay with that. But I think there's a lot of potential for a lot of silly shit that I could do if I wasn't constrained by the need to like always be fully dressed and prim and proper, you know? Because in my personal life, I'm not particularly shy about showing off my body. Even now, where I'm in the worst shape of my life, I'm still like, I still look alright. I could look way worse. Anyway. Oh, fuck, we're about to hit ad break. Let me just, can I snooze that, maybe? Are you gonna do the thing, or are you... Okay, yeah. Ads start in like 4 minutes. Alright, cool. It's just one of those things where like, I would love to have body tracking on my upper body, especially, just so you can see my hands and how much I move them, even when I'm talking in here. I'm always worried. I've learned how not to cross the center line with my arms for my face so that I don't block the fucking hand tracker anymore. I mean, the face tracker anymore, which is good, but like, we could do better. We could do so much better. I also want to, at some point, I just got to start digging into this model and figuring out how to hot rod it to just have better tracking, like anchor and option points, because I've done default stuff with just like the hand tracker that is a motion tracker, and that doesn't seem to know how hand positioning needs to work. So like, it'll make my hand look like it's on backwards. So like the natural point where fingers bend when I close my hand is toward like the back of my forearm, and not like, you know, naturally toward the center of the body, which is a concern. That's not a fun thing to look at. It is very bad. So I want to see if I can do something about like a more effective locational tracking system that also means getting better at other software. And also getting the hardware to do it in the first fucking place. But hey, oh well. Alright. I am going to grab some stuff because the ad break is starting in 3 minutes. I'm going to actually start it like at an appropriate time now. I will see you all in roughly 3 minutes. Stretch your legs, get water. We run ads every 3 minutes for the hours, so that no one has to deal with pre-rolls when they first come in and whatnot. But I will go away while we do that, so that we can just get back to the conversation once we're done with that nonsense. Go forth, get snacks. Oh my god, I'm so tired. Anyway, why am I still so tired? I'm using... Oh, or it's almost like I have a chronic illness that prevents me from, like, restoring my energy. Oh, well. Take care. Don't burn the place down. See you in a bit. All right. We should be... We should be good to go. Bye. Thank you. I'm just trying to keep my brain functional right now. I'm doing my very best. I don't know how well I'm doing. But yeah. There are some webcam only services that work for face track. Well, not face, but hand tracking. I'm currently using a software that can interact with them, but isn't super well designed for it. And so I'm going to need to, like, basically, I'm going to have to migrate to a different software, which will mean specifically, like, calibrating certain things on this model and using other face tracking software that I've already purchased. That's not the issue. The issue is that, like, I got to, like, fine-tune everything and all of the settings, both here and in Unity, and possibly also, like, doing some Blender stuff to change out some elements of the model. It's complicated, and I just want to make sure that I do it right before I make the full jump. It's just one of those things, you know? I gotta actually learn the skills and then apply the skills. Also, since my brain is a little bit fucky, let's do a little check here. That'll be perfect. Just find that. Why are those not in there? All right. We can do these things. I got to check on my brain. Let's see how we're doing. It's fine. It's just, you know, it's a very specific piece of software. What do we got here? No. Well, okay, it's not gonna be album. Here's the thing. I can't draw for shit. All right, I know basic figure rules and that sort of thing, but like I'm not great at it. It's not a practice thing. For like hot rodding this model, I don't need to do any illustration stuff. I just need to like swap out certain files for other files. At the end of the day, that's what I'm doing with most of this stuff. The fact that there's any sort of like fine-tuned like face expression here that you can actually even remotely partially read my lips in any capacity, which you can't do reliably because the model isn't perfect, but like you can still get some of it. That is all just like 3 tools and like a normalization little layer put on top of that so that it's more readily applicable to the software itself. That's it. But like the software I'm using on the iPhone is different. What the fuck is this word? Not album. It's not usual. It's not owner. Let's go with the other one. What the fuck are these words? I'm not doing well mentally today, am I? Needs. I need to know if there's any double letters in this. Okay, there's no double A's. Oh, A has to go there. U has to be there. Awful? Yeah, like making a model from scratch is something that I don't yet know how to do. 2D or 3D. I know very little about how to do that. I know some of the parts, and I know some of the ways that we could make that work, but like working off of like a template, even if it's not the best one, is still better for me just so I have something that has a framework for me to like fuck around with. That's kind of important for my brain. Always easier than the two worlds at the same time. This is the easiest one. Spiky, spicy, spiny, all sorts of options. I'll go with bright for you. Alloy. Annoy. I have to imagine it is. Autodesk is an old-ass... Wait. Okay, there we go. I do not want to subscribe to a newsletter. I just want to play word games. Oh, that. Ooh. Yeah. We actually got the extreme one this time. Cease with that nonsense. Yeah. That would do it. Get that one. Okay. Try fillet again. All right. Inlet. Yeah, my brain when I go to Blender and I try to learn something in Blender, I'm like, hey, I think I know how this works now. And then I will stop doing things on Blender because I'm doing other stuff like streaming or like dealing with other problems in real life and whatnot. And then I'll come back and I'll be like, I have no memory of how I made that work. I don't know how I made that work. How did I make that work? I knew clearly, I was smart enough to do it a week or two ago. I promise. I promise I could do it earlier. Clearly because it does work here, but now I want to do it to a different model, and I want to do it in a different way, and I don't remember what I did to make it work that way this time, and I'm just like, shit. It's the worst. Oh. Wait on that one. That's the correct word? Okay, well. That's elbow. You know that's elbow. And this is going to be like crawl or drawl? Crawl. Okay. It's the easiest one. They only get harder. Curse, purse, nurse. Ichor or choir. Could also be rigor. Oh. Okay. Then whatever the fuck these words are, that is that gulch. That's a G up there, not a C. Yeah, I've never gotten good. I've never gotten good at that sort of thing. It's also weird because, like, my spatial reasoning is really good. My understanding of, like, how to look at a thing and, like, know what angle it's at and that sort of business, I'm really good at that sort of thing. I also have mild aphantasia. Like, I don't have a crystal clear image of anything in my head ever. Which doesn't make a lot of sense. Oh, I failed. Prong. The word was prong. That's stiff and prong. Okay, well. Yeah. That's pretty fair. But the E, it can't be genie or Bilai. The fuck is this word? Hang on. It could be something that ends with, like, C. We've only got a few of these left, though. Is it begin? Might be begin. It is begin, okay. That's scope, obviously. That's going to be optic. And then we've got Baron, and then we have broke. Yeah. No, yeah, absolutely. I totally get that. Just like you have other stuff that you're trying to, like, hone in on, or at least, like, keep in your head so you don't lose it. Oh. Damn. Damn. I have no idea what the fuck that word is. Quilt? Quill. It's quill. Alright, so we goofed on both the extreme and the rescue today. So I'm not at my best today. I feel less terrible now. Oh yeah, that's always fun. Where you had this thing and they were like, this is very important to always do it this way. And you have to do this and this and this and this and this. You have to do A, B, C, D, E, and then F, always in that order, all the time. You don't need to see that. Yeah. Because they didn't keep up with their shit. Like, that's the worst part. That's the worst part of, like, dealing with... Oh, God. Dealing with any sort of design or engineering or, like, technical work, sort of, like, anything that requires technical prowess, basically, the older people are always going to say, well, my way is better than that way. It fixes this problem and accounts for this thing, when it's not really a thing that has to be accounted for anymore. And it doesn't account for some of the, like, the problems because the world has changed and the way the thing that is the way the thing is done is changed. And they don't want to, like, grow or adapt or improve their skills or maintain them in any way. It's always so good. It's great. So my degree is in writing and literature, and specifically, I went into writing literature to become an editor. I've never had any desire to, like, write the next great American novel or some shit like that. Though there's plenty of people who were in my college who very much thought they were going to be the one to do that and think they're going to be the one to do that. And think that that's a thing that is both normal to want and possible to achieve, even though the greatest of the American novels are still not all that great at the end of the day. I'm not here to shit on, like, America as a cultural element, but, like, a lot of those things are good pieces of literature, don't get me wrong, but, like, they're often made with, like, a really specific, bitter, nihilistic mindset that you can't necessarily get away from. And that is one of the things that sort of, like, has filled all of American life. Like, you're going to see people memeing about the horrible events that happen in the world. And a lot of them are going to be Americans. Not all going to be Americans. But a lot of the time, especially if it's in English, going to be Americans. Oh, cool. You managed to change the mind of one of your professors, but they were not going to let their pride stop them from making your life a living hell. I'm so sorry. No, they were like, oh God. There were like 3 old school professors in my department. One of them was like, there was like the oldest guy there, and he only did like 20th century novels. And he always had the most condescending way to talk to people, and it was the worst fucking thing in the world. And then, God, there was, oh no. There was the lady who ran a poetry class. I don't want to shit on poetry. I think poetry is one of the better uses of language in the world. My issue was not with how she taught poetry. My issue was how she, like, basically dragged us on a field trip. And we're in college, so, like, we're not getting together on an activity bus and going somewhere. We just had to all show up in our own cars. Or, like, carpool together and figure out that shit. And she just let us deal with that. And the thing that she did, yeah. like, it was never like the material itself. It was like how they presented it. Like, the guy was always like, this is the only literature that actually matters, but also, I don't trust or respect any of you enough to think that you're actually going to read the things that I assign. So I'm going to hammer in that you don't just, and I quote, look at the page and look at the words. You have to actually read them. And I was like, strictly speaking, that isn't the full process of reading, but it is a mandatory one. Could you perhaps say the thing that you actually mean, which is, it's not enough to read the material and know what it says verbatim. You need to actually have an opinion on it and be able to make an opinion and make an argument for that opinion on it. That is what you're here for, to engage in like a critical discussion and understanding of the work, and you have to critically understand the work. That's the vital part. Could you not talk to us like we're 11 or 5 or something like that? Never was going to do that. Also, just did not want to talk about the racism. I hope he's retired by now. Anyway, the lady dragged us to, there was like a juvenile corrections and mental health sort of like combination, like a combination Pizza Hut and Taco Bell, but for like youths who were just sort of like inconvenient for both the system and their families, essentially. And occasionally also the ones that committed crimes. Yeah, no, it's the most fucking annoying shit. So we basically were like part of the class that we took was for like outreach stuff, but they didn't. I don't think she communicated what needed to be happening at all with the people. She was like, I'm gonna set up an event with these people where like you're gonna sit down with kids and you're gonna write a poem with a kid, and I was like, cool. Is this an opt-in for the kids? Or is it an opt-out for the kids? Are the youths that we are forced to work with also being forced to be there? Because that is not conducive to a creative environment. Guess what went wrong? Go ahead. I'll give you a minute. Guess what went wrong? Did you guess some of the kids were forced to be there and therefore were very not okay and not in a place where they could actually interact in a creative fashion with people? Did I get paired with a kid who'd probably been abused by someone who looked a little bit like me, and maybe they should have checked on that in some capacity? For finals, we had to do debate. My classmates and I proved him wrong. Good. Fuck that. If you can beat your teacher, beat your teacher. But yeah, no. There are a lot of things that went very odd in my stuff, but most of the things, because I went to I went to a university that focuses on like research and does research grants and does research work and is primarily a research university. A big surprise. They're big on the sciences and big on the engineering, and they kind of don't give two shits about their arts programs. Hell yeah. But like, I had 3, God. I mean, here's the thing. No one who is in charge of anything that happens at a university is ever actually going to give a fuck about the academia of that university. Not anymore. Colleges are less likely to be places of learning, and Yeah, also that, like, they're not places of learning. They're places to get money out of people. Like, I avoided going to college because I knew it was just going to be a place where I was going to maybe get a piece of paper that might help me at some point in the future, but probably wouldn't. And it was better than continuing to work myself to death in a warehouse that did not care if I lived or died. It was a way to buy time until I die. Oh, yeah, no, I had to pay an $11,000 ransom for my degree. I had to pay 11 grand after I'd finished all my courses and had qualified for the degree. Because the last year that I went to school, I got really sick. The IBS hit, the brain fuckery hit, and like I could not think or function in any way, shape, or form. I'd hit a wall and I just couldn't function, and I needed medical care more than I needed like this, and I needed people who were actually going to be motivated to find what was wrong with me. No one was. And so like I kept trying to balance going to doctors and going to classes and like having enough energy to do at least one of those things and failing often. And basically like trying to make sure that I could safely leave the house. And every time I went to a class, I would have to go to the bathroom and like be in horrible pain because I didn't want to have that situation in front of a bunch of kids, because it was my last year and it was all like 400 level shit and 500 level shit in some cases. But like it was one of those things. Oh, that's fucked. That's super fucked. Yeah, no. So basically, because I had to like drop out 3 terms in a row, they were like, you owe us all of this money again, and also you owe us these penalty fees, and also you owe us all of this stuff. And I was like, I can't pay that right now. And they were like, then go fuck yourself. And I was like, you could have, at the start of the year, the first thing I said before we start even, at the start of the year, and before like I had to register for any classes, I was like, hey, can we switch these 2 classes so that all my degree requirements can be completed and I can be done now? And they were like, no, go fuck yourself. Until suddenly their numbers were going down. Yeah, that's the worst part. I honestly, like, I don't think anyone who worked in the clerical department of the university that I went to ever actually wanted to give me my degree. I think they were really hoping that I'd pay that money and then die. That's what I think they were hoping for. Like, no exaggeration. I'm pretty sure they wanted to get me killed by any means necessary so that they wouldn't have to do anything with that, and that I wouldn't like be able to do anything else with it. And I left and I just didn't pay the money for like a year. And I was like, fuck y'all. Fuck it then. I'll do this thing. I'll do this however I gotta do this. I've done all the coursework for it, so if I don't have the piece of paper, I still have all the coursework for it. And I can explain the situation to anyone who's willing to look at it, because I do technically already have this thing. I just haven't actually graduated yet. You're holding my shit ransom because you wouldn't fix things. And then a year later, suddenly they're like, oh, hey, we just found that you could just switch these 2 classes. And I'm like, fuck you. So I had to pay 11 grand for them to give me a piece of paper that I never even got to use because AI and shit just basically like fucked everything, and like auto translation stuff went into things. And I'm trying to work as an editor, and I'm trying to work as someone who can like actually do technical work and make them more easily communicable to other people, so that like for like technical writing tasks and that sort of thing, which is a big part of that. Yes. Yes. I am aware that yes, there are doctors literally scamming out government assistance money. Here it wasn't even the doctors, it was the insurance companies. Here the insurance companies just like, they'll just fill like a person who's too old to take care of themselves. They'll just fill their file with like a bunch of fake stuff that they charge for like surgeries and things. They commit like just straight fraud all the fucking time. It is so common. And every medical institution can do this and get free money half the time, and many of them do that. Yeah. And it's not even like... The worst part is, like, it's not even... It used to be, there were certain universities that were, like, clearly just scam universities. Like, if you saw an ad on TV for a college here in the United States, for an example, there's a bunch of, like, technical, like, online-only course structure systems, and almost all of them were frauds. And it used to be it was mostly just those ones that were frauds. But then a bunch of art schools showed up that were frauds. And then they got kicked out of the United States in the early 90s and in the late 90s and in the early 2000s. And funnily enough, those people never went to jail. They just got fined a bunch of money. And then they were told they couldn't do their business here over in the United States. And so they either sold the concept to someone or worked with the concept for someone and became con artists for the same process in other places. And some of those people, because they were able to escape the bad reputation in the United States, they were able to get themselves into actual legitimate universities in clerical and executive positions and like dean of students kinds of situations. So I find it very easy to believe that your college may be doing some shady shit, because it's become sort of like a standard issue thing at this point. I am so ready. I'm so ready for someone to actually hold these motherfuckers accountable. It'll never happen. I'm never getting that 11 grand back. It's just gone forever. Actually, fun fact, it was technically 16 grand. But I had already paid 5 grand of it at another point in time. And so that money just sort of whisked away a third of the problem and just left me with the 11 grand. A little less than a third of the problem, but you know. I'm only extremely salty about this. Anyway. It's so hard to make people actually, like, make right their wrongs, you know? I don't know. God, my brain is all kinds of fucked today. I'm really sorry. I'm, like, super foggy today. I thought I'd be okay today, and I'm really not. I think we're going back to the zone where I can't use my, like, sleep assist machine unless I'm just at the point of exhaustion where nothing matters and I'll be able to sleep anyway. And then I'm not sleeping enough with it. It's a whole fucking situation. My God. But yeah, like... Also, I'm not the only person that my university did this to. I'm far from the only... This is apparently like a standard issue activity that they do, where they just fuck people over with their, like... with their degree progress. All the fucking time. It's, absolutely dog shit. Anyway. That's enough of that. Other things, we do have, so... I'm not getting a lot of success in, like, getting my brain to work again to do things, so I might not do a Sunday stream at all. All told, especially since, like, my brother's gonna be here to do the Elden Ring thing with me. And I know no one's gonna show up to watch that Elden Ring thing with me because we're pretty much just breezing through the fucking game. But I really want to make sure that he actually gets to see the lore and, like, the quest lines and stuff. There's also some bosses that I'm, like, 99% sure he has never even touched. And I think it would be fun to fight those with him. But yeah. It could be worse. But it could be better. I would like my brain to actually work. It would be really cool. It would be so cool if my brain could just work again. Because we're hitting the zone where it no longer just works anymore, and I am very troubled by that. Oog. No, yeah, fucking... Fuck the university system. It is... It's dog shit. It's absolutely fucking dog shit. Try to find something that we can do today, because my brain is not gonna be... Right? Like, I would like the brain fog to cease. Good lord. But yeah, there's still a ton of stuff I gotta do too. Like we're already like a third of the way through. Yeah, we're already like a third of the way through the month, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to recuperate myself well enough to have the energy to both message and organize people to do a bunch of things. I think I'm gonna have to hold off on doing the Tour to Twitch thing until like way later, which is unfortunate because I need to do something to keep. I gotta build off of stuff. I gotta keep moving forward. I've like completely stalled out after 2 months of streaming nonstop, and sure enough, it's fucked with me in a way that like the 3-day break was not enough to fix. Ah well. I gotta do something. We may leave here really fucking early, though. I'm really sorry. I'm really feeling this shit. Like, I feel like I've gotten my ass kicked, and it's just not a great sensation. You know? I'm just not fond of it at all. Also, I'm in, like, a dog shit mood. And I kind of don't want to inflict that on y'all. Ugh. I don't know. I'm sure it's fine. It's just... We've gotten into a downer topic, and now I'm really feeling it. That ain't anybody's fault but my own. But also, like, if I'm thinking about it, for even, like, 5 seconds... Wait, is she alive right now? She's only been alive for a couple hours. It's been a hell of a thing, but I think I might... God, I do feel like shit, though. The more awake I'm getting, like, the less good I feel physically. I know we want to do chat, and I don't think I'll be able to do, like, a 4-hour chat thing anyway. I don't think 4 hours of a just chatting stream is going to go well for me right now. I'm very sorry. I had to uphold this as, like, a thing. Like, y'all voted. I want to respect that. But... I think maybe we go say hi to somebody. Y'all cool with that? Y'all cool with that? Because I feel like ass. Hey, that can be fun. That can be great. My feelings aren't much anger. It's just like... I'm tired. I'm really fucking tired. Like, I'm ridiculously fucking tired. Alright, cool. I'm gonna send us over to Jummy, because I never get to say hi to Jummy. Yeah. I don't know what's up. My brain is all fucked up today. She's great. I'm gonna give you the raid messages. Say hi to Jummy and Co for me. But yeah, I will be back tomorrow with Pirate Yakuza. Alright? I promise I will be back tomorrow with Pirate Yakuza. We're gonna have a great fucking time. We're gonna watch a really well-muscled group of pirates do a bunch of silly shit. I probably have to do a bunch of stuff to, like, finish catching up some other nonsense. But I'll do that later tonight, probably. And I will see you all. I'll see you all then. Alright? Alright. Take care. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. Say hi to Jummy for me. All right.